Yeah.
I took one sip.
No running around the pool. What? So there's a couple things I need to say and a couple things I want to say, but I'm going to try and hit on everything. I don't do notes and all that crazy stuff. I have to warn you that some of the fun medication I'm on makes my mouth very dry, so I brought my water with me. It also makes my face quite red at times, so if that happens, don't rush up onto the floor and start CPR. It's all okay. As you all know, I'm Emily's dad. I'm the father of the bride. And I need to start with some thank yous. I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll get to that. But the first person and the person most importantly that I want to thank is Kathy. For the last 9 years, she kind of adopted our lovely daughter. Her and all of Ken's family, and she's been wonderful to Emily, and we really appreciate that. So Kathy, thank you for being so nice.
Harry, love you.
Ken's family's on the same list. Boy, there's a lot of them. Did you see the pictures, Henry?
We're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah. And I have to say the same thing for them. Some of them I've spent a lot of time with, some not hardly any time at all. But I have to say the ones I've been sailing with that drink too much and eat too much, and I won't mention any names like Barb and Nancy, are exactly the same. They're wonderful. They kind of adopted us long before we found out we were adopting them. And now we're family, and I think that's just wonderful. Thank you. The last 2 nights I have tried to meet everyone that's here. I think I managed it between last night and tonight. If I haven't spoken to you, I'm sorry, but people keep sneaking in. And after you meet about the 30th or 40th person that says, "Hi, I'm Ken's friend," that gets a little boring. But they're all really nice, so it's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. Some of Emily's family is here too, and of course the prize for traveling the farthest, as always, goes to me and my lovely wife Marilyn, because we came about 110 miles further than the other people that came from England. But, we've got you outnumbered, and if you did talk to my brother last night or tonight, just ignore anything you may have said or asked you, or he just got out of prison, so it's, we try to keep that down. Anyway, let's start on Emily. Emily is wonderful. She's generous. She's kind. She's amazing. I told a lot of people here, and I meant it. There's only one Emily. She's a great person, and we love her. And she's different. She started making her own decisions very early in life, and has ever since. Excuse me. The first one was when she was born. She decided when she was coming out, and Emily was born in a hallway because she wasn't waiting. I can still remember the doctor now saying, "We don't have time to move this bed. We're going to stop here," and that's where Emily was born, in a hallway. When she was a couple years old, just before we moved to England, she decided she wasn't going to sit in a high chair anymore. Luckily, we were in the middle of moving, so the movers had been, there were boxes everywhere. There's also big rolls of packing tape that the movers use. So I taped her into her high chair, and that changed her behavior for a little while, not really long. And she didn't get better as she got older, she just got more interesting. I always remember the day she asked me where one of her coats was, and I said it was hanging in a cupboard out in the garage. And a little little while later, she came back, she said, no, it's not in there, Dad. And I said, no, I know it's in there. And she said, no, it's not. I said, okay, let's bet $1 million. She did. And she still owes me $1 million. The coat was, I bring it up once in a while, the coat that's in the cupboard. Yeah, so excuse me. So Eleanor, she moved to America. She called me one day. If you didn't notice, I work in medicine, so she used to call for advice once in a while. Lots of family members do. Oh, yeah. She said, Dad, she said, I'm nervous. I'm a little worried. She said, my stool is bright red. Bright red. So I know medical stuff, so I started asking her all the pertinent questions, blah, 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 blah. And at some point, well into the conversation, she mentions that she'd eaten a bag of Red Hot Cheetos earlier. So I said, let's give it 24 hours before you rush to the emergency room. Well, she's still there, but so we'll see how that goes. Who loves you, baby? And things have never changed, but I love her. I really love her. She moves off to America, and she kind of starts going out with a guy that she works with, and they kind of got serious. And so I meet Ken. I talk to Ken. I go on social media with Ken. For about 3 years, I thought his last name was Jammin. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And then one day, I don't know why, we're talking about Ken, and she said something about Alexiak. I said, who's Alexiak? She said, Ken, that's his last name. So I thought, like he's in the witness protection program. I don't know. Ken's a good guy. He's a wonderful guy. He's wonderful for Emily. They seem to enjoy life. They enjoy the world. When they told me they were going off and pulling a trailer around the country for 12 months, I just thought, yeah, sure. You're a dad. That's what you do. You encourage your kids. So I'm thinking, 2 weeks, maybe a month. They'll call, they'll be in Fairbanks, Alaska or something, need gas money to get home. But they did it, and I'm actually kind of proud and aware of them. I thought it was absolutely amazing that they pulled it off. So life is good. And then Ken called one day and said he wanted to ask my permission to marry my daughter. And I've told a couple people this story. Unfortunately, Marilyn was sitting next to me on the couch, and she started screaming, literally screaming. And she wouldn't stop. She was so excited because her baby was going to get married. So I never actually answered Ken's question. Marilyn screamed, we tried to talk, and then he was driving, so I think he hung up so things didn't go bad. But here we are. And I, for one, can tell you that I am the happiest dad on the planet. That these two are an item. Ken is now one of my children. He's my son-in-law. That gives me certain rights and privileges. I get to pick on it. If you have me on social media, you know I'm very bad. So I want to say again, thank you all for coming. It's been an absolutely wonderful evening. It's been a pleasure to meet you all. Marilyn and I thank you very much for everything you've done for our 2 kids. We're happy to be with you as friends and family.
Yeah.
And I would like to propose a toast to Ken and Emily. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, beautiful words. Let's give them a round of applause. So next up, I believe we have our maid of honor. Let's keep that applause going for her. Where is she at?